Good morning, broadcasters. 360 seconds news and commentary for broadcast professionals is on the air. I'm Maria Koladova from TKT. Let's discuss the latest technological news with our respected experts, Philip Grossman and Mary Seidler. Don't forget to give the program a like. AGA's new System Test Lite version 17, now available on the macOS App Store, offers enhanced UI and multi-terabyte disk system support. It's tailored for video production, providing accurate SSD performance assessments and customizable parameters for unique workflow emulation. So, Philip, can you take us through this?
Yeah, so it's a great tool. I've been using it. To be transparent, I work with several companies that do drive development, storage development, and it's a tool that we use a lot. The accuracy on all of them are always, I would say suspect. It has a negative connotation, but it does give you a ballpark reference of about how fast your system will run. Of course, it's all dependent on what you're doing, and the size of the files and if you're editing versus just reading files. But it's been a great tool. It's a simple tool to use so people can sort of understand when the manufacturer tells you, oh, your disk is going to get 3.6 gigabytes per second of performance, and you run it and you're only getting 2.1. Why? So you can start to troubleshoot. We use a lot for sort of troubleshooting, or I do for troubleshooting cables as well as drive systems. So it's a great little handy tool, and the fact that it's free is wonderful. So I would recommend anybody who is wanting to know the performance of their drives to get this. Blackmagic has a tool, and Atto has a tool as well, and there are a couple others, and they're all sort of well within range.
Great. Okay, now moving on to Panasonic. Panasonic launches the world's smallest and lightest LUMIX S 100mm f2.8 macro lens, featuring a new optical design, dual phase linear motor, and excellent mobility. Ideal for detailed close-ups and medium telephoto portraits that offers silent operation and minimal focus breathing, enhanced both photo and video production. So, Philip, can you run us through this as well?
Yeah, so it's based around the Micro Four Thirds format, which is growing in popularity. I've always sort of had mixed emotions on that format. I like the 35 full frame, Super 35 for video. The fact that you can get really, really tiny cameras using the 4/3 sensor size, and they're getting higher resolutions on them, better image quality, and now you're getting a series of lenses that enable you to match what you can do on full frame. I mean, you look at an RF or EF or a Nikon mount, there's thousands of lenses available in third parties. There are now more and more people making for the Micro Four Thirds. There are a few, I believe, cinema style Micro Four Thirds cameras out there. So this just gets another lens that they can use within that system. So it's interesting.
Great. Okay, now moving on to Sony. Sony announces a new spatial content creation system featuring a high-quality XR head-mounted display and specialized controllers. Aimed at revolutionizing 3D content creation, the system integrates 4K OLED microdisplays and Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 Plus Gen 2 platform, promising enhanced real-time rendering and immersive experiences for creators. So, Mary, I know that you were curious about this.
I did. So, Philip, I've got some questions about it. How much of a difference is this going to make, and how many other players are in this category?
So, we've had Oculus and a lot of headset manufacturers out there in the past, and they've been very much geared towards games and then sort of engineering tasks and some entertainment. But there really has not been a full ecosystem for the production of the material for this. It used to take two cameras with an ocular distance set up, and it was very, very difficult. This is technically they're the second player in this world now. With Apple Vision Pro, which I guess is being released at the end of the month, beginning of February. There's now ecosystems around how to, to assist in the development of the content for the cameras. I think we're still in the early days in terms of what it can be used for. I think engineering tasks are great. Training tasks are great. Some entertainment things are fantastic. I can have a 120-inch screen in my room, but, just put a headset on. They still look like you're making love to a toaster when you're wearing them. But I'm glad to see there's another competitor who's sort of trying to get up to the same bar that Apple has set with their Vision Pro. So I just think there's my gut tells me there's going to be an explosion in the market for this type of content and these devices as they start to figure out how to make compelling content for it. It's sort of like when the first cell phones came out. Oh, you can check your stocks and check weather. Well, what else can you do? Check your stocks and your weather. Oh, sports scores. So it's interesting. I mean, I should ask you, just from a layman's perspective, do you see yourself getting this? Do you see, I mean, from what you've learned, is this something that interests you?
Well, it would be interesting what you mentioned and what they showed in the video is they were showing doing different engineering tasks. And that would be for someone who really needs to have the visual feedback. It would be hugely helpful to be able to actually visualize something in an immersive 3D environment.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be something to keep an eye out for sure.
All right. Well, thanks. That's all the time we have today. Many thanks to our experts, Philip and Mary. And don't forget to comment on the news that we've discussed. See you next Monday at the same time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.